Hey yo, welcome back. Well, that's the POR-15 tank sealer. It's rolling around inside there. I had this section sealed up, this section sealed up. I just unsealed them to clean around the edges here. This one didn't have any leaks. This one had a little bit around the edges, and it was starting to bulge out here. It was actually starting to push outward against the tape like there was pressure starting to force its way out. And right here, that's definitely where one of my pinhole leaks was because this was leaking. And I haven't noticed anywhere else. I think there might have been a little bit coming out of here that I wiped off. Obviously you can see this grayish kind of shit on my rag. That gray is the tank sealer. It's kind of got like a gray metal appearance to it. And you can see it inside the tank. It's got a grayish metal appearance. It definitely leaked out of the oil window, and I will probably never be able to see my oil level again, which is fine because I can just add oil. So I had to wipe that a couple times, and I hope that after this is poured out and it's dried off, that'll seal up. These two openings held up really well. No problem there. No leaks. Like I said, I had a little bit. I had a few patches over this section between this sticker and this sticker. I think I had a piece here, I had a piece here, and I had a piece that covered the seam in the middle. And something pressurized and it started to expand. And when it did, it started to push some out of this section here, and it dripped a little down the side of the tank. That's weird. And then, yeah, I just had to wipe it off. It's wiped off pretty good. When it's liquid, it wipes off pretty good. Don't know what it's going to be like after it dries. But, yeah. It's got this, like, totally metal appearance to it. Now, right here on this little strip that's inside the oil area, it used to say level, which is the level you're supposed to pour the oil up to. Doesn't say nothing no more. That definitely coated it, which I think is a really good sign. It means it's coating, it's sticking, and I'm pretty happy about that. So, you can kind of see the oil. You can see that the POR-15 kind of rolling around in there. I know it's not easy to see. It's a liquid, and depending on the light, it's not easy to see. But you can see it rolling around in there. It's like the T1000 in a tiny little can. Very interesting. I'm 100% confident I coated every surface inside this tank. I rolled it over in every direction I think I could find several times. And realistically, it's like epoxy and paint. If you roll it over and it coats the surface, it's coated. It's not like it's going to start to dry and then you're building up coats. So that's it. You get a coat on it, it adheres, tightens down, becomes a whatever it becomes. And that's that. So, yeah, POR-15. Not too bad. Like I said, the worst part about it was the cleaner and degreaser. Taking off a little bit of paint, discoloring the paint. So you got to be careful with that. Biggest warning I can give you if you're going to use this kit. But the epoxy itself, not too bad. It is very viscous, So when you do roll it around, you got to be careful. You got to go slow. So I don't know if you can see it. It doesn't move too fast. You got to go easy. Roll it a little around like this. Roll a little around like that. And you just pretty much do that 360 degrees in a sphere, which, mathematically is totally possible. But anyway, can't complain. It seems to have worked out really well. You can see, well, it's hard for you to see, but for me, I can actually see the coating of it all the way around up to this top layer here. I mean, literally to this edge right there. Like, even that top lip, because tape was laid over, I can see that it coated around that lip, which I'm very happy about. I can't see the word level on here anymore, which I used to be able to see. But we'll see what happens when this dries after I drain it. So right now I'm just trying to keep it upright because gravity, and I'm gonna drain it through these two holes. I'm gonna rip these apart and then let it drain. I don't know where I'm gonna let it drain. Probably in my neighbor's backyard, because my neighbor's an asshole, and I hate those cocksuckers. So fuck them, And I'll just put some poison in their backyard because they can suck it. But yeah, otherwise it seems to have worked out. You can actually see it moving around in there, you know. But it's interesting because it's got like this metal kind of color and finish to it. And I'm interested to see what it looks like when it dries. But it's doing its job. Definitely coated the entire inside of this tank. And yeah, I don't think I have any doubt that after it dries, it's gonna seal up any leaks. I did the gasoline side, I did the oil side. So if there's a breach between these two tanks, this one ain't sealed it. This one sure as hell did. Plus there's that pinhole leak out here. Hold on. Yeah, right now it doesn't have anything coming out of it, but that's also a good sign. That means that maybe it's already doing its job, which I don't know, kind of concerned about, curious about. But yeah, there's some liquid in there. Very interesting stuff. And it has got a hell of a smell to it. Ooh, yeah. Let me tell you, it definitely smells like xylene. Ooh, oh, let me check again. Oh, yeah. Definitely smells like xylene. Ooh, yeah. That's the good stuff. So, yep. Pretty cool. POR-15. All in all, it worked out really well. Just got to be really careful with the degreaser and cleaner because that seriously just like, you can see the discoloration on my paint. And I'm not too concerned about it because there's a cage that goes around this tank, and then I have a saddlebag that hangs on this side. I have a saddlebag that hangs on this side. And never really gonna notice it. I'll know it's there because it's my bike, but at the very least, hey, I could tell Joseph Bear Jr., I got a blue bike now. Well, it's blue in a couple spots. So I got my baby blue, along with the sweet pea and the little pony that could. So, yeah. Hopefully this works out. This takes care of the problem, and it actually keeps this tank sealed for many, many years to come, which is what I'm looking forward to. So there you go. POR-15. Here's the can. Killed the whole can. Got a little bit of extra drizzle on the side here, so you can see that it's actually got this. Yeah. It's kind of got like a metal kind of shade to it. It's weird. And I did get a good amount of it on my hands. It ran. Oh shit! Don't let that happen. But yeah, it ran all over my knuckles and my hand. It was like in a straight line down the line, and I shit you not, it looked like the Tin Man for a few minutes. It's actually kind of tacky right now that it's dried up. I wiped most of it off with the rag. I'm gonna grab some mineral spirits out in the garage and clean my hand off a little bit. But yeah, kind of tacky. Like within 10 minutes. Now it feels like it's more or less dried on my hand, which is probably not a good thing. So, as a future update, I'll let you all know what kind of cancer I end up with in the next 10 years. But that's a whole nother video for another day. But yeah, seems to have worked. You can see where it came through this window a little bit. You see that shininess, that gray shininess? That is definitely where it wasn't sealed here. But hopefully it will seal after today. Once it dries up and it creates a film. So, yeah, interesting stuff. And well, after I'm all done here, the whole reason I'm doing this is just because I want my gas mix and my oil mix to mix together in the bike correctly, because I don't want these two to contaminate each other anymore. Other than that, the only other thing I could do is not use the oil tank or bust a hole between the two and use premix in both, so that, yeah, but then I can't use the oil pump, which is original, which I'd prefer to use. I have to get a cap for that. I have to eliminate the oil pump. Then I got to get the fuel mixture right, because this could be anywhere from 50 to 1 to 35 to 1, which I'm not interested in trying to fuck around with. And on top of that, I got to deal with my carburetor. Here's my original carburetor, which I'm having a problem with because that's the drain screw. The drain screw cracked the bowl, and I ended up having to epoxy that crack in the fucking bowl. So what I did was I bought an aftermarket carb, but it's not the same carb, and I have to modify my throttle cable to make it work. And this is it's not like a Mikuni or a Shaw, which I probably should just pay the money for and get and do the rest of the modifications. I was hoping that the bowl on this would match this one, but it doesn't, because it doesn't have the carb passage. The choke passage. Yeah. But anyway, the reason this Bosch is so big is because I got my new exhaust. And I got an MLM exhaust pipe just because I decided, fuck it, even though I have 3 exhaust pipes, I'm just going for one that I know is brand new and I know works. And got a couple extra bucks in my pocket, so I decided, fuck it, I'm just going for it. But anyway, yep, POR-15. So here's the next video. Hopefully it all works out. And when I rebuild everything, I'll let you know how I make out, and we'll see how it's running and take it from there. Have a good night. Be safe.